Dental Fuel, the podcast that focuses on what no one else is talking about: mistakes. The dental world is full of before and afters, and no one is talking about the middle. Dental Fuel brings you the unspoken in between. Dental Fuel is brought to you by Ignite DDS Coaching, empowering dentists to build self-determined futures. Together, we're shaping the next generation of leaders in dentistry. Failures can be costly. Learning to fix your failures can really be helpful. In this episode, Dr. Moody talks about post-surgery care and follow-up practices, and how it can help your practice and save you money along the way.
I think that's huge, and I think that what you're doing for the community is so awesome. And something that you and I talked about on your podcast, which we will include in the show notes, is the importance of those dentists who are coming into your course and having a license, but also the opportunity that your facility has to have any follow-up with potential complications that can come through after any surgeries. And I think that's huge. I think that's different from other courses that are around. I think that, we see a lot of courses where it's kind of a weekend thing, and then patients are kind of left to dry. And so I think that that's excellent that you guys are doing a great service for the community out there.
We've, like everything you do in life, we've tweaked it and moved the needle to try to create the course that is, the best it could possibly be. And we change it all the time. I've taken a lot of courses, and to be, truthfully honest with your audience, when I first got into this, I always knew that the live patient training section was super important. And I too took some groups of docs, in the early years down to Mexico, and we would do the surgeries down there because at the time there really wasn't any there wasn't a restricted license here. It wasn't how licensure in the United States is. It's kind of like that's a whole nother podcast. So we always knew that was important, but more. Just as equally important as the reps on live people is having a good foundation. And I think I mentioned I had to fly to Detroit, Michigan 7 times, right. 7 Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Well, what I knew was the barrier of entry to getting this education was that time, right? All that time, and it's not just the course isn't any cheaper because you go 7 times, but 7 times you 21 hotels and 7 round trip flights. That might be more than the damn course. So I set out to put what I call the foundation portion of your education into 1-hour online modules that you can learn on your own at your own pace, because you don't need to fly to Scottsdale to refresh yourself on bone physiology, and pharmacology, and these modules, you can go back and listen to them over and over and over. So there's 35 of those. So there's 35 hours that the dentist has before they ever show up. And then when they show up, I can hit the high notes from those modules, but we go directly into repetition on models. Placing implants in a model, placing implants in a pig jaw, suturing. We suture every day for all 5 days that we're here. And it's sometimes the doctor that comes through, they're just I'm done placing them on the model. And I said, I get that. But the act of drilling a hole in a piece of bone and actually placing the implant is not a 100-hour curriculum. The core is learning about it. Are you even putting this in a good host? Are we a good candidate for an implant? And then you have the technical aspect of putting the implant in, and the model work has a lot to do with. I want you to be familiar with the surgical kit and the protocols of the surgery. So when you do go to the live surgical portion, you don't think about it because you're not looking like, oh, like what drill do I start with? Like, where do I go? Like, what's the marking or whatever? No, I've had you place 16 implants throughout the week to get that part of your mindset out of the way. So now when you go to the mouth, you don't have to worry about that. Now we can say, hey, here's our cone beam. Here's our measurements. Like, we can concentrate on the actual, placement of the implant. And you did touch on, like, there's no course out there that you could go to that you're going to be able to learn implant dentistry and not have complications. That's not like, I find myself to be a good implantologist and I have complications in my private practice because, sometimes our patients aren't healthy. Sometimes things just don't go well. But one of the things that we have here is we have a residency program run through Jacksonville University out of Florida, and it's a 2-year master's degree program. So our residents are here for 2 years, and they're the ones that they help screen and work up the patients for the course. But the real value for them is post course. Like, we got a fast track going on. We got 20 docs here that will place. Like, we'll put somewhere between 220 to 260 implants in, this week. And those residents, they do the post-ops. They see the incision line openings. Like, we'll have some infections, in that group. And what I think is interesting is that for a general dentist to put 250 implants in, like, could take a person years, to put that many in. Well, we're going to do it this week. So the law of averages, like, we run about a 94-95% success rate with our implants that they integrate, and we're able to restore them, which is in line with all the literature. But at that level, say we put 250 implants in, well, and at 95, we're gonna have 13 to 14 implants fail every single week. And you're like, my God, what are they doing over there? It's no different anywhere else, just the volume. So these docs, they get the ability to handle the complication. And I think what really separates our residents from other residents out there is that the sheer volume they see and the sheer number of complications they see when they get out, when they're done with their residency and they go out to private practice, that part's not scary to them. When you come to the course and you go home and you start practicing and your first failure comes around, it's mind-boggling. Right? Like, you're like, oh my God, like I might have an upset patient. Because implant failures are different than real tooth failures. Like, real teeth fail all the time. They need fillings. They get broken crowns, broken fillings. But the difference with real teeth is we can take care of it that day. Like, we can even do the endo and a crown in the same day. Like, we have the ability to fix the human right then. When we have an implant fail, we have a biologic problem, and that is oftentimes, like, the implant, the implant has to come out, but we got to rebuild the site with bone, and it takes time. Like, and then we got to put the implant back in. Well, that takes time to reintegrate, and then so it's the biology and the time associated with complications that makes implant dentistry different than real teeth. And it also is what makes it not for every dentist, because if you're pretty risk adverse, this isn't really the modality that you want, because you will have some complications. Even if you limited your implants to healthy humans with abundant bone, you will still run into one. And what I tell our docs is like when you come through here, man, pick 10 cases that are healthy humans, abundant bone, and go home and do them and have great success. Like, you could probably get nearly 100, you should be able to get 100% if you do that. And if you do it, you'll have a little more confidence. If you leave here and you go like, my first 10 were all immediates and I lost 4 of them. you'll like be like, this implant dentistry thing isn't for me. Like, this is like not profitable, upset patients, like all these other things, so like there's kind of a lot that goes, into it. And my job is, I don't teach most of the, I help teach the sinus course, but I don't teach most of the advanced courses. My niche is I want to take people from little implant or no implant experience to getting into their practice and doing them in these cherry-picked abundant bone cases. And you'll either love it and like springboard into, bigger cases and all the other stuff, or you'd be like, what, this is just where I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay in my wheelhouse that's super safe, like super efficient, super reliable, super predictable. And that's 100% perfect. Like implant dentistry is going to be different for everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to our conversation with Dr. Justin Moody. We're back next week with a team mistake. Ready to take the next step in your journey? Book an intro call with Ignite DDS Coaching today and level up your future in dentistry.